What is up, guys? Blue Sun JRPGs here, back with another video. This time, talking about some of my most disappointing games of all times. You guys know there's nothing worse than looking forward to a game for 1 year, 2 years, hell, even 3 years. Hell, if it's a Persona game, 10 years. There's nothing worse than looking forward to these games and then having them launch, picking them up at midnight or whenever you get it, bringing it home, and then having the game absolutely suck. For me, the game that perfectly fits this description has got to be Mass Effect Andromeda. You guys will know if you followed my channel for a long time that I am a massive Mass Effect fan. Definitely one of my favorite series of all time. You know, I have the lithographs, I have the pop figures, I have the collector's editions, even the expensive collector's edition of the first game. So I'm a pretty diehard fan. I've played the first one 15 times, beat it pretty much every way you can, platinum the game, and that was a tough game to platinum. But yeah, I'm a big fan of the series. And what this game did to me was it made me apathetic. You know, it wasn't even that I hated the game; it just made me not care, which is the worst thing a game can do. Because you know, if a game pisses you off, like Valkyria Revolution, you know, it's whatever. It's gonna piss you off for that one game. You go back, you give the next one a shot. But when a game makes you apathetic and you just don't give a shit anymore, this was kind of in combination with the ending of Mass Effect 3. The game just rubbed me the wrong way. I don't know what it was, but for me, you know, it just ruined the whole series for me. I'm not sure if I'll ever get back into it the way I was, but definitely just one of the most disappointing experiences in games in my life. Really wish they took the series in a different direction. Even if they took some of the side characters from Mass Effect and made spin-off games, I would have loved that. Or if they wanted to go something completely different, but keep it in the same galaxy, that would have been cool too. I don't know, guys. It's a very disappointing game for me. Another disappointing game for me has got to be Hyper Dimension Neptunia. Now this is kind of a different game than Mass Effect. I didn't know about this game a couple years before launch. I didn't pick this game up the day it came out. And I didn't even pick this game out while the PS3 was in its prominence. This was a game for me as I got more into RPGs, JRPGs. I saw this game for years and I got more and more interested into it. The story sounded awesome. Going around playing as a character and fighting the consoles, that was a game I wanted to play so bad. I thought it sounded awesome. And it was a cheap game at this time too. I think I paid $10 for it. I remember seeing it in GameStop one day for, I think it was $10. But the case was generic, and I hate collecting games like that, so I didn't buy it. But what I did was I went through GameStop's website, and you can do like a game locator. So I found a pretty close store. I went in there and I bought it. And you know, I played this game. And the story was very, very good. I very much enjoyed it, but the combat was probably the worst combat I've played in any video game ever. It was just so monotonous. Not that it was broken, but just so monotonous, made me didn't even want to play the game at all. You know, and the later releases of this series have definitely improved on it. Most of them are great games. But for this one, for me, it could have been so good, but they just missed the mark on the combat. And that's the thing about these games, is they all have some part of them that's good. They just screw it up at one aspect. Another disappointing game for me has got to be Fable 2. Another series that, you know, I loved so much. You know, Fable 1 was a game for me that really changed the way I looked at games. I think it came out when I was 11 years old, or just about that, and I talked about how I had never experienced the game like this before. And although Halo 2 and Halo 1 were awesome games, this was kind of my definitive game on the Xbox. You know, it just changed the way I viewed video games. I loved it so much at the time as a kid. And you know, I got my Xbox 360. I knew Fable 2 was coming out, and that was one of the games I was most looking forward to. I think it's actually probably the last game I remember actually getting on Christmas and playing. So I remember picking the game up. The game looked really good. The part that disappointed me the most, though, was that they took away the I'm drawing a blank. They took away the heroes from the game. In Fable 1, there were like 20 heroes, which made the game awesome. I enjoyed that aspect. And then you come over to Fable 2, and there's only 3 heroes, and the Heroes Guild is gone, and it just was not what I was expecting. I don't know what I thought was gonna happen in that game. It just let me down. That's the thing about all these games. They're all decent games. They just let you down in some aspect. And the hype I put on it, maybe it was too high. Just because of how much experience, how much love I had for Fable 1. But I don't know, guys. That just gets me down just thinking about these games. And the last game was more my fault than the actual game's fault, and that was the Elder Scrolls Online. So I had come from Oblivion, Morrowind to a lesser extent, and definitely Skyrim, a massive 100 hours of gameplay there. And I had expected kind of the same from that. And you guys know the Elder Scrolls Online is nothing like that. So of course I was disappointed. But that's my fault. You know, I should have known it was an MMORPG, and I did know it was an MMORPG. But I guess I just didn't care. I guess I just was like blind in my faith that it was going to be the same type of game. I don't know, guys. Again, it wasn't a bad game. And people actually say it's got pretty good after a couple of months. But I don't want to get back into it. I gave up after a couple weeks. I just don't feel like getting back and being behind everybody else. One of my biggest regrets in gaming is not playing more of the game. But let me know, guys, what are some of your most disappointing games? We all have games like this. I don't think there's anything worse in gaming than looking forward to a game, getting it on Christmas, playing it, and being disappointed. There's nothing worse than that. But what do you guys think about Logan Paul? If you guys haven't seen the video, he basically did a vlog where he filmed a guy who committed suicide in Japan. Very graphic. He ended up taking it down. I think it's ridiculous though, and I mean, as someone who's had suicidal thoughts in the past, I mean, I think it's so insensitive to do that to people. But massive thanks, guys. End this on a more positive note. Massive thanks for all the support, guys. Really appreciate it. As always, Blue Sun JRPGs. Peace out.